Hello, this is Simon Gerard, Assistant Stunt Coordinator for Nobody 2. You're watching Rafters, Sports and Movies. Enjoy.
Scott here with Rafters, Sports and Movies, and today I have a special interview. Well, all my interviews are special, but this one is near and dear to my heart. It is a sports movie. It's not tennis. It's the new tennis, which is pickleball. And so I have with me today one of the actresses from the movie The DINK, which is in production now, Eli Jane. Hi. Welcome, Eli. Thank you so much for joining us today to talk about The DINK. And in this movie, it's in post-production now. Is that a true statement? Does that sound right?
It is. I mean, it's got to be about wrapping up. I shot it a year ago, so.
Oh my gosh, that sounds like forever.
Yeah, and well, I mean, it takes a while, but yeah, I'm assuming, especially since I was just checking out the IMDb, it's getting. I would imagine it's about to release. I don't know. I have no idea.
I'm still looking for. I'm still looking for the release date on the trailer. So we haven't seen the trailer yet. So, there you go. So we've got husband and wife team in this movie, Ben Stiller and christinetaylor, and then a whole slew of people. Have you worked with any of these folks before that's in this movie?
No, I don't think I have, actually. I haven't, no. They're all new.
So let me read off some of these. We've got edharris. This is for everybody else. I know who you knew because you were there. Edharris, pattonoswalt, marysteenburgen, Jakejohnson, Chris Purnell, Chloe Feynman, Wayne Wilderson, and then your name pops up. There you are, Eli Jane. And can I tell everybody who you play?
Sure.
You play, because you already know, Andyroddick's assistant. And what was that like? Because, I mean, you're around awesome actors and actresses, but now you're around an awesome professional athlete. I mean, were you like teaching him how to act? Because he knows how to play tennis, obviously.
Well, that's the interesting part. Clearly, what am I going to coach him on? I'm his assistant, but I just sort of took the stance of supporting him and rooting him on because I mean, an assistant, that's what an assistant would do. And then I tried to throw in some comedy because of course it's a Ben Stiller. So, yeah, I mean, but it's kind of like, I didn't even know who he was, shamefully, until I showed up to set. Everybody knew, and we shot in a tennis store. And everyone just knew who he was, and they were all speaking of him. And it's something really cool. I mean, I come from the stunt background, so I love when I see athletes that then get into TV and film, just because, we're body athletes, we're body artists. So it's very similar, but yet different. So, but I've made the transition, and I just love to see it.
Excellent. So if Andyroddick walked by me in a store, I wouldn't know it was him unless he was wearing a shirt that said "I'm at Andyroddick." Same thing with, what's the guy that used to yell at everybody? McEnroe. I wouldn't know him either.
Okay.
And if I saw Adam Sandler, I would think that guy looks like an older version of Adam Sandler.
Actually, I've seen Adam Sandler, but he was at my local DMV, and I knew his voice. Yeah, I heard his voice. My son was with me, and he was getting his driver's license. And I am really bad at facial recognition, but I can hear voices. And it was one of these switcheroos where the assistant went in, and then it was just really quick. But I would notice it.
Oh,
Yeah, especially having a 21-year-old son. There was a lot of Adam Sandler films, and with him singing. So yeah, I did recognize him.
right. I'm a voice person too. Like I can watch a movie, and if they have some different facial stuff, and I'm like, I know that person. Pattonoswalt is one for me like that. I could pick him out in the crowd if I just heard his voice. That's Pattonoswalt. And he's done a lot of voice work too. Speaking of voice work, have you done any voice work yet?
I haven't. No. I haven't really had a passion for it. And not to say that I wouldn't. I just have been really focused. And also transitioning from stunts. I was a gymnast that transitioned into stunts by being a gymnast and a diver. And so I was really focused on transitioning from a physical athlete into, more of an actress. And I've spent a lot of time sort of going to acting school and transitioning in that way.
So let's talk the gymnastic stuff, because that's something I was not expecting. I saw in your bio, it talks about all your different athletic things you did, but so what was your specific gymnastic apparatus, if you will, that you were?
Yeah, so I did all around. So I started when I was very young. I was like 3. I trained with Bella Caroli. So, I was used to doing 4 or 5 hours in the gym at a very young age. And then I'd say I got to middle school and I moved around a lot. And I just wanted to transition into diving for whatever reason. And diving seemed supernatural to me. So, when you transfer from gymnastics into diving, it's like everything is just, you basically go to competitive right away. So, yeah, that was, and then, with that comes water ability for stunts. So, I did like a Tampax commercial. That was one of my first commercials I did, doing a backflip.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it like freeze framed in the middle of the air. And yeah, so I do have, like a Foggy commercial, a lot of stuff underwater where you just have to be really comfortable. And, especially when you're doing underwater stunts, there can't be bubbles and you can't freak out. And they'll bring you breathing apparatuses, but you can't breathe for a while until the bubbles settle. And
Right.
like that. Yeah. Or extreme weather. Some women and just don't want to go in bikinis and freezing cold ice water.
I don't want to get a cold, because then you stop production because you can't hear me because I've got the sniffles, right?
Well, what that job was is basically you have 2 minutes if you fall in the water that you die of hypothermia. So I had a crew following behind in case I fell in, but everybody's in like full wetsuits and I have a bikini. And so my feet are exposed, my hands are exposed, and they have to go in and warm me up. And, a lot of women they wouldn't be used to that sort of thing or, down for that. But just, I don't know, growing up kind of a tomboy and being used to water and extreme sports. And, it just was fine with me. It was a challenge. So.
Right. Well, having a athletic background and then going into stunts and then going into the acting. I mean, you've already got the commitment, the process, of I want to do this backflip. I want to do this backflip, and I want to do it on a high dive, and I want to do it into water. And I've already done the flip. I'm done with that. Now I'm falling. Now what I do, just stay tight, hit the water and no splash, right? And so, you've learned through your athletics how to get from I know nothing about doing this to now I know everything, and now I'm the expert and I can do it, and I can do it on camera. So I think it's definitely set you up for success in your career through what you've gone through early on.
Definitely. Definitely. People say, when did you start? And I say, when I was 3. Because everything that's, from when I was a baby has led me to where I am today. And, I've just done a few stunt roles where I do these things called verticals. They're on your phone. They're apps that you download. And They're becoming really popular. They're translated into, one of the apps has like 18 different languages. And so it's more of like a worldwide exposure. So you're reaching people that speak different languages, and they get released very quickly. And so sometimes you'll have a stunt double, but a lot of the times I'll end up doing my own stunts. So it's just more cost efficient and more efficient to just hire me when I can do both. And so those are really fun. I like to sort of balance it out a little bit though, because I haven't quite figured out how to like brush it off, if that makes sense. You know, you play a gnarly character, and I just get so involved in it that it's sometimes hard to then get out of it. So I like to make sure that I'm trying to mix it up if the universe will provide that for me, so that I'm not getting stuck, because it can be a lot, you know. Yeah.
You take your character to the trailer with you.
Yeah, home and everything.
Right. Yeah, everybody gets the brunt of what was your character in The Way?
Oh yeah, Jane Arc. Yeah, so that one I played a boxer. I did boxing lessons, and that was great. Yeah, that was really great.
So I throw that. I take that one. That's a sports movie, kind of. I mean, it's got, you know, even if you've got a little bit of sports, we'll add it to the channel, because that's the way we work here. We're always looking for the sports tie-in, and that definitely was. And then you had a dark path. You go to prison. I don't want to give the whole movie away. You got to go see it. It came out in 2021, so it's pretty new, pretty fresh.
We filmed it during COVID, so.
Oh, that was no fun whatsoever, right?
No, but it was great to be on set.
Great to be working.
It was like, oh yes.
But all the constraints and the mask and the testing, the constant testing, that just. But I'm glad we got anything new during COVID,
right?
Because of that.
That was sort of the birth of verticals as well. You know, people are just consuming content on their phone, so it's been interesting to watch how quickly that industry has grown. It's $1 billion industry already. So, and it's just booming.
But yeah, it definitely is. So going back to the DINK, had you played pickleball prior to being in the movie?
I haven't, but I have wanted to play pickleball, and without giving away too much, there is a little bit of both tennis and pickleball, and it's sort of like a pun on it, which is really fun to see, you know, the older generation, how it's sort of commingling with the newer generation, because it is such a fanciful sport right now. I've wanted to play it, but really, I mean, I want to play because I'm an adventurer, but I also really just want like the cute pickleball skirts and stuff.
There you go. There you go.
I want a reason to be able to have one.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have a pickleball shirt. I'm wearing a baseball shirt because I don't have a pickleball shirt. What's a pickleball shirt? You
can actually order one online with just pickles all over, and then you can go to pickleball.
And that's it. It's just a t-shirt.
Yeah, like a button out.
So a 3-button and no collar. That's a pickleball shirt. We're making up things as we go. Whatever. Yeah. My son plays pickleball. He's in a league. He and his girlfriend and their the third person, because it's a 3-person team. They won championship like 2 weeks ago, and so he texted, "Hey, we won again! And we won the championship. It's like 2 seasons in a row they've won the championship." I'm like, "Wow, that's awesome." We went and saw him play earlier, and I was totally lost. I'm like, what's the rules on the crossing of the ball, and is it free reign? Anybody can hit it, and so I was kind of lost. But small court, not much to cover in that. So no pickleball for you yet.
Not yet. I mean, I've been really busy working. I've had a little bit of a break, which has been interesting. But I mean, the amount of auditions that are coming in for me I've never had this many auditions in my life. So I'm really grateful. It's great to be on set, but it's also great to even just be considered for things. And, you know, anytime I'm being considered, I'm constantly working on that muscle, which, you know, goes to your point of, as an athlete, you're constantly training. And I consider, you know, my auditions training, because I'm essentially building a muscle. And that muscle is your brain and your memorization. And I think, it's really helpful if you can memorize things and then be able to, plan them in a certain way. Sometimes planning doesn't always work, but as long as you have it memorized, you can play with a little bit more and it can be a little bit more fluid. So I really try to work that muscle, which is interesting. It was a learning curve coming from being so athletic, because it's a totally different part of your body that you're not used to using, which is, memorization. And it does grow. I'm proof. It literally, the more I do it, the more brain power I have in terms of memorization. So if you're like, how do you do that? It just happens the more you do it. And so I try whenever I have auditions to memorize them, no matter what, even if it's just an audition and I could be reading it off of a teleprompter, I choose not to, because I feel like, I'm going to be better equipped for when I show up to set, and they might throw me a line here, throw me a line there. But, on these verticals, we do 20 pages a day. On the DINK, we did 4 or 6. So, I mean, that's just,
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane. It's not like I can just show up the day before and do 4 pages. I mean, so basically, if I have time with these verticals, I'll try to memorize the script before, so that when I get on set and I'm doing 20-page days, I already have an idea. Whereas like film, sometimes you could just show up that day and memorize. So,
Have you noticed a difference in the production time and how quickly they're trying to churn out the movies now versus pre-COVID? Have you seen it? I've heard this from some stunt people that I've talked with, about the production time is so squished now versus used to it was longer. And now it's like, we got to get it done. We got to wrap so we can get it out there. And so the production company can get their money back so we can get all our bonuses or pay period.
Especially like a lot of the older stunt people. Stunts is such a small little industry, and usually if you know one, you'll be connected somehow. Like I was just at lunch the other day, and my friend's like, "Do you know him?" And I pulled him up, and I was like, "We have 500 friends in common." So stunts is actually kind of a small industry, and it's been around forever. And so some of these stunt people who have been in the industry from a very young age, or their dad was a stunt person and they're a stunt person. They've really seen the gamut of the industry. And I definitely feel like it's going faster. I wonder if verticals are also pushing it, because you have to understand with verticals, we're shooting full scripts about 100, sometimes 120 pages in about 9-10 days. We get one take. Sometimes we get one take, sometimes we get 2 takes. So if you ever watch a vertical and you're like, that's not a very good actress, you're like, yeah, but you didn't get, like with feature films where you have a warm up and it's like time is money. So you get used to getting it right away, So I feel like it probably has, definitely. And, I don't know if it's budgeting as well, because now there's just so much content I've heard, but I'm not, an expert on it, but I would imagine it has.
There's change is going to happen. It's going to occur whether we like it or not. AI in movies, no, not for me. And CGI is good to a point, but when I can't tell they're actors, an actor and 2 actors communicating, and I'm like, I'm not digging that. I'm not liking that as much. I like to have I need to have the human interaction and not the robotic, unless it's the movie, unless it's robots, or something like that.
Yeah,
that's not really much. And I'm Rudy and The Natural and sports movies. That's my jam. So, were you finding yourself? You're on set. You're at a tennis club. Obviously, you mentioned you were in a tennis store. Did you find yourself like, wow, I really want to get into the action. I really do want to play tennis or pickleball, because my muscle memory, my background of being an athlete is to go win, score, you get your points, points for diving, points for gymnastics, what have you.
Yeah, and I think also I was a cheerleader, so I lived in Texas, and in Texas we do all kinds of we cheer and
Oh, I know. I know where I know exactly where Bella Caroli's gym was on 1488.
yes, but you grow up and so that was something that was interesting, and we shot at 3 different locations. One was a tennis shop, one was a actual tennis club, a fancy club out in like Calabasas somewhere. And then we shot in another club. I forget where that one was, but yeah. So we thought I did. I know they shot at a whole lot more other locations, but me personally did. And I think anytime there's sports, I really love to get involved. My problem is I have a bit of maybe an addictive personality, so I will work out for like 4 hours instead of, like maybe 30 minutes is only necessary unless I'm studying for like a film where I'm actually going to be an athlete. Like the boxer thing, all I did was, get prepared and train really hard. But I need to remember that my main goal is acting now. And I really need to be in my studio and using my brain and also communicating with
Doing all
people.
your facial expressions.
Right. And also just talking to others and feeling like the humanity, which to your point of AI, I don't know how that's going to be possible. But I think it's important that as an actor, we have like human connection and we have human experiences. And, a lot of the traumas or experiences in my life, I reenact them or I use them as tools when I'm performing. And, yeah, I just try to make sure that I'm remembering where my goals are and going towards those goals, and I'm not getting derailed or distracted because, growing up and doing athletics my whole life, and especially for so many years and for so many hours on a regular basis, that transition it did help that I had back surgery. So I felt like the universe was telling me, maybe you should try this acting thing. So that's really helped. It kind of reminds me that, use your mind now. I've heard a stunt person say, you're now using your mind, not your body. You're a mind person. I thought that was
Right.
really funny.
We're going to keep the brain intact. We're not going to put you in arm's way, and we're going to rig you up this way. Oh, wait, we're not going to rig you at all. We're going to have this body double come in.
Yeah.
Body double come in and take care of that. And so that's another way. Okay, so I have, we're winding down on our time, and thank you again for being with me here. Don't go anywhere yet. I now have a little special segment that I like to call 4 to 5 questions. And so these are rapid fire questions. They're not hard. So here we go. This will be fun. Okay. Favorite sports moment? Just any sports moment at all. It could be yours. It could be something you saw or thought of.
Okay. My favorite sports moment is probably when I was in high school and we made the cheer competition in Orlando, Florida, and we got to go to the finals. Yes. Woo!
Oh, in Orlando? You were at Orlando competing?
Yeah. In the finals.
Oh, wow. Congratulations. That's something else. Okay. Next one is favorites. Not favorite yet. What is the first sports movie you remember ever watching? Go back to
Wildcats with Goldie Hawn, Field of Dreams. I love that movie. Why does nobody watch it? That is classic. One of my favorites.
And she's such a classic actress also. I mean, she put all those kids in their place.
Yeah.
And I want a new watch.
Be on the 5 in field minutes.
So good. So good. Wildcats. Okay. Favorite motivational sports movie? What's the sports movie that just now you can attack the world?
Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams. Okay.
It's just
want to have a catch?
If you go to the acting classes, it will come. If you just keep studying, it will come. If you keep, auditioning, it will come. Just keep doing the work, it will come. Field of Dreams, definitely build it and it will come.
Classic. Very well put together too. James Earl Jones. Last one. This will wrap us up on our rapid fire questions. Favorite movie, snack, or drink. So you're settling in to watch your favorite movie home or away in the theater or at home, and you can magically have your favorite whatever. What would that be?
Okay. I like this candy called Joy Rides, and it's this like low sugar candy.
Okay, I've not heard
You
of
make
this.
it in all different kinds, in licorice, in gummy bears, and yeah, Joyride. They sell it at
Okay.
Target. It's like a low sugar. I like the low sugar, low carb jellies. Yeah, definitely gummies.
So it's a gelatin type.
Yeah, they make gummies. They make licorice, that kind of stuff. I like things low carb, low sugar, but not like bad shit that's gonna make me have Alzheimer's or something.
Right. Okay. Right. Well, I'm a chocoholic, so I'm probably in for it because I'm getting it from all angles.
You're what?
I'm a chocoholic.
Ah.
Yeah, chocolate is my jam. It's just
I love
I
chocolate.
don't weigh 1,000 pounds, so I do, I don't indulge a lot, but yeah, it's a thing. That's my thing. Where my kids, they all like Sour Patch and gummies and not chocolate. So if we go to the candy store, it's not chocolate. For me, it's Snickers or Reese's, something chocolate, and they don't go for the chocolate, which so it's different for me.
Yeah, I like dark chocolate. I'm very picky about my my chocolates and my candies, to be honest. Like that's why I said it's not going to just be like, your basic. It has to be some kind of foo-foo. Like,
oh, it's fancy.
Yeah. Well, there are these dark chocolates right now, and they're called Awake. They're so delicious. And each chocolate has a half a cup of coffee.
Oh my God. That
Tell them at Costco, they're called Awake. I love them.
Yeah, that'll keep you awake. That definitely would.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to put you in the back for a second. I'm going to do our goodbyes, and then don't go anywhere. So this has been Eli Jane with us on Rafters, Sports and Movies. And where's my ending thing here? There we go. Thanks for